Hello everyone. So let's continue our discussion on leases. So last time we discussed about the finance lease, and there are two types of finance lease. We have the direct financing lease and the sales type lease. Now we will discuss about operating lease. So on our finance lease, we learn that in order to qualify as finance lease, any of the following shall be met, di ba? Mayroong transfer of ownership, purchase bargain purchase option. The term is major portion of economic life, which when you say major portion, it is equal or greater than 75% of the useful life of the asset. The present value of minimum lease payment is substantially all of the fair value of the asset. When we say substantial, 90%. Now, if there is no transfer of ownership, then it will be classified as operating lease, and that is the general rule. Now, let's define what is an operating lease. So, an operating lease, the lessor shall recognize lease payments as lease income on a straight line basis over the lease term, unless another systematic basis is more representative of the pattern in which the benefit from the use of the underlying asset is utilized. Take note that under operating lease, the ownership of the lease asset remains with the lessor. Kaya, kagaya nga ng binanggit natin, there is no transfer of ownership. So consequently, the lessor will bear all the ownership or executory costs. So you have here the lecture note for operating lease. So there's no transfer of risk and rewards. For rental payments, income is recognized on a straight line basis. If there is any initial direct cost, it is added to the carrying amount of the asset and expense on the same basis as income. For depreciation, it is done by the lessor. Lease bonus, unearned rent or income over the lease term ang kanyang treatment, and kapag security deposit, it is treated as a liability. Furthermore, ito yon binanggit natin, yung ating special items to be considered. Una dyan yung executory cost, which includes the depreciation, real property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. So ang ating accounting treatment for that an item is expense as incurred. Next is the initial direct cost, which is capitalized as part of the lease assets cost and recognized as expense over the lease term. Later on, we will illustrate how we account for initial direct cost. Next is lease bonus received, initially recognized as unearned lease income and is amortized over the lease term as leased income. And for security deposits, it is accounted for as a liability if refundable upon expiration of the lease. So let's have this illustration. Ito yung first ating illustration. An entity lease and equipment to a lessee for 5 years at an annual rental of 120,000 payable at the first day of each lease year. The lease is appropriately classified as an operating lease. So our case, case number 1, the lease is effective starting January 1, 2022. The question is, how much is the lease income for the year 2022? So the answer is 120,000. How did we arrive at 120,000? So our annual lease payments would be 120,000, which is payable at the first day of each lease year, multiplied by the lease term, which is 5 years. So we have the total lease payments of 600,000 divided by the number of years of the lease term, 5 years. So the annual lease income would be 120,000. How about if the scenario is the lease is effective starting April 1, 2022? How much is the lease income to be reported for 2022? The answer is 90,000 pesos. How did we arrive at 90,000 pesos? So same computation, annual lease payments 120,000 multiplied by the lease term 5 years. So our total lease payments would be 600,000 divided by 5 years, which is the lease term. We arrive at the annual lease income. But then the lease term only started on April 1, 2022. So we will prorate the number of months by multiplying 120,000 by times 9 over 12. Okay? So the answer is 90,000. Let's have another illustration. At the beginning of current year, Ren Company leased a building to Brill Company under an operating lease for 10 years at 500,000 per year, payable the first day of each lease year. The building is depreciated 120,000 per year. Rent company paid 150,000 to a real estate broker as a finder fee. Rent company incurred insurance and property tax expense totaling 90,000 pesos for the current year. What amount should be reported as net rent income for the current year? So we will start, okay, with our rent income because ang hinahanap dito is the net rent income. So when we say net, it is net or the any other costs will be deducted from the rent income. So we'll start with the rent income, which is equal to 500,000. Next, we will list all the other costs. First one is the amortization. We have here the rent company paid 150,000 to a real estate broker as a finder fee. This is considered as initial direct cost, okay, which is accounted for as it is amortized over the lease term. So 150,000 amortization of finder's fee, 150,000 divided by the lease term of 10 years. Okay, that would be 15,000. Next, the depreciation. So depreciation is included as part of the executory cost and it is expense as incurred. We will not divide the depreciation by any useful life because we will recognize it as an expense. No, as we incurred the depreciation, we will expense it outright. So that it would be 120,000. And then we will deduct also insurance and property taxes, which is 90,000. So we may total 15,000 plus 120 plus 90,000. That would be 225,000. So the answer for the net rent income would be 275,000. So under IFRS 16, it provides that initial direct costs incurred by the lessor shall be added to the carrying amount of the asset and recognized as expense over the lease term on the same basis as income. Kaya yun nga yung ginawa natin sa amortization, which is the amortization of finder's fee or the broker's fee is considered as initial direct cost, which is deducted or expense over the lease term. Kaya dinivide natin siya ng 10 years. Next, another example. We have here, okay, the question is what amount should be reported as rent income for 2023? And then second question, on December 31, 2024, what amount should be recognized as accrued rent receivable? Abe Company, lessor, lease an equipment under an operating lease. The lease term is 5 years and the lease payments are made in advance on January 1 of each year as shown in the following schedule. January 1, 2023, 1 million. January 1, 2024, 1 million. January 1, 2025, 1,400,000. January 1, 2026, 1,700,000. And January 1, 2027, 1,900,000 with a total rentals of 7 million. So let's start. So first question is the amount that should be reported as rent income for 2023. So in order to compute for the rent income for 2023, okay, we will add, okay, we have already have the annual rental, total rental, which is 7 million, we only divide it by 5 years because the 5 years is the number of the lease term. Okay? So, ang ating rent income for 2023 is 1,400,000. Okay? For letter B, what amount should be recognized as accrued rent receivable? So, magkano ba yung rent natin pagdating ng 2023? Rent income for 2023 and 2024, 1 million, di ba? Sorry. Rent income for 2023 and 2024. Ito nga, itong na-compute nating na 1,400,000. 1,400,000 times 2. Okay? Since parehas yung rent nilang dalawa, so times 2. Ay, sorry. Times 2 kasi ang hinahanap natin pala is for the year January 1, 2023 and then 2024. So 2 years. Kaya pinag-add natin yung dalawang 1,400,000. That would be 2,800,000. And then, i-less natin yung rent na na-receive. Okay, rent received for 2023 and 2024. Magkano ba yung rent na na-receive ng 2023 and 2024? That would be 2 million, which is equal dito yung 1 million. Okay, kasi the lease payments and advance are shown below. So ito yung lease payments kasi, 'di ba? So nagbayad tayo ng 1 million for 2023 and 1 million for 2024. So 2 million ibawas natin. So ang accrued, okay, accrued rent receivable as of December 31, 2024 would be 800,000. When we say accrued, it is the process of recognizing income when uh, already income that is already earned but not yet received, di ba? Or income that is already earned but not yet received. Bakit kinonsider siya as accrued? Because, okay, ang annual rent income natin is 1,400,000. So, yearly, makakatanggap tayo ng 1,400,000. So, ang tinatanong kasi is 2024. So, may na earn na tayong 1,400,000 noong 2023, another 1,400,000 for 2024. So, ang ating rent income for as of December 31, 2024 is 2,800,000. Then, i-less natin yung ating rent receive kasi na-receive na natin siya. Ang tinatanong kasi is accrued, which is already earned but not yet received. So, since na-receive na natin yung 1 million for 2023 and for 2024 kasi yun yung lease payments. So, i-recognize na natin yung 2 million. So, yung 2,800,000 na rent income less the 2 million rent received. So, ang ating accrued, which is the which is the earned but not yet received, is 800,000. Kaya nga receivable pa natin siya kasi nga hindi pa natin na-receive si 800,000. So that would be for question number 2. And that would be the end for our discussion for operating lease. Thank you for listening and see you on the next video lecture.